Being physically attractive or beautiful, or being considered beautiful in regards to the beauty standards conventionally, comes with responsibilities that many people shy off from discussing, but of course we're going to discuss on this channel. And before we do so, my name is Cece Farrell. Kindly hit the subscribe button, like, comment, and share, because this is your channel that we are going to be discussing about such issues, almost taboo topics that are also related to the kingdom that people really do not want to go there. When we talk about beauty, first of all, Queen Esther is our very, very prime example of beauty. And when we talk about the responsibility that comes with it, is beauty, most of the time, spiritually speaking, is not usually just for you. It is usually something that God gifts you in advancement of His kingdom. So most people are not aware of this, because also most people lack revelation, and I was among the people who lacked revelation for a very, very long time. And I used to think this gift of beauty is just for me and I'm going to use it for my benefit. But it turns out that I was very, very highly mistaken. And so back to Queen Esther. Beauty comes with responsibilities, and it does play a role in the kingdom in terms of it helps or aids in fulfilling an assignment. And most of the time, this assignment could look like generational curse breaking. The assignment could also look like just winning souls, and most likely, this is how God likes to use it, just winning souls for Him. And most of the time, we are caught up in the beauty is for me. Let me use it to my advantage. Let me use it to advance on in life. And sometimes it does work for some people. It does work if you have not been if a heavy mantle has not been placed on your life, or a burden, or an assignment. Maybe that could work. But I'm talking to the people who have a heavy mantle and assignment on their lives, that even if they wanted to use it for evil, they wouldn't try, or they wouldn't even be successful with it, because it has a very specific purpose, and that purpose is very, very kingdom driven, and it's very, very godly ordained. And so when we talk about the responsibilities of winning souls, beauty, if it is used correctly, it is supposed to win souls to the kingdom. It is supposed to be one of the tools that are supposed to aid or facilitate many souls coming to the kingdom, because most of the time when we are called to evangelize, um, people gravitate naturally, okay, leave alone evangelizing. Naturally, people gravitate towards beautiful people. It is just a natural thing that somebody would like to get interested to talk to somebody that is facially appealing, and that goes to both male and female. This is not gender restrictive, and that is just a natural response that an attractive male or female is likely to pull in an audience or a listener. But now, uh, when I talk about beauty being used as a tool for the kingdom, it is just that, and it is used in a way that when you are that type of person, when you open your mouth and start to evangelize, people are most likely to be drawn towards you, and people are most likely to believe. It is not just about drawing people in. Beauty also comes with credibility. So people are likely to believe that whatever you are saying is quite authentic, that whatever you're saying is real, it is tried and tested. So when you talk about, or when you talk to them about Christ, they do really believe that there is a Christ, or they really get curious. Let me just say, they really get curious. They really get curious to know what this Christ is about, and sometimes it can be cornering to them, cornering rather, in a way that they may have come with another intention but get cornered uh, in a tricky way to know Christ, yeah. They may have come with the intention, but then they got caught up with the gospel in the middle of it, and that is how they get saved and things of that nature. And it really happens on a regular basis. Okay, now when we talk about other responsibilities may look like knowing that you have the beauty now, and knowing that if you do this and this and this, it might not yield the kingdom results that you may want, that it may lead to a fleshly result. So these are one of the lessons that I've really had to learn also the hard way in terms of modesty and dressing and stuff like that. And I am still learning. And when I talk about this, I'm talking about this in a sense of sometimes you are not really in the headspace of wanting to attract the opposite sex or doing any of that consciously. But sometimes what people pick up in your cues, that is nonverbal cues, and sometimes even in the dressing, people might pick up that, oh, she might be interesting, or she might be interested in me, or she might be inviting me. So sometimes the responsibility lands on us in a sense of, then it becomes your responsibility to kind of tone things down a bit. And I'm really not a fan of toning things down, but I have come to learn that sometimes I just have to tone things down if I do not want that kind of attention. And sometimes it is very, very natural to get that type of attention. Even if you dress in baggy clothes, sometimes things will just happen, because sometimes it is just the face is just beautiful and there's nothing you can do about it. But in terms of toning it down, in terms of just not highlighting many physical features, so that we can avoid those parts of conversation, and especially being a creative in the creative industry, it has taught me that, it's a male dominated space. So you really just have to tone things down, because you do not want them to get a wrong message. So the responsibility usually just lies with you to tone things down, not to talk on particular subjects, not to sometimes even avoid eye contact, basically, not to stare at people too long, not to hint at anything, basically, because you may not want them to get a wrong message, especially if you really want to evangelize. And sometimes you're really in the mood to evangelize and win souls to Christ, but people are distracted and cannot get that message. So the responsibility is usually heavy with just toning things down and just not doing too much. I know sometimes I like to do too much, but it is really a disservice to myself, and it comes across as shooting myself sometimes on the foot, for lack of a better word. So that is all I had to say for now. I'd appreciate if you guys chime in the comments and let me know what your experiences is, or what your thought process is regarding this topic of responsibility.